Yo, check. Yo, ukinicheki kwenye grind, moving non-stop, mi nataka kweka mambo right. Ukinicheki kwenye grind, moving non-stop, mi nataka kweka mambo right. Ukinicheki kwenye grind, moving non-stop, mi nataka kweka mambo right. Ukinicheki kwenye grind, moving non-stop, mi nataka kweka mambo right. Niko busy kweka mambo right, kama ni mboko na nilipa walai, kama haini faidi hainipi shilingi, nitaweka mambo aje right. Mi nataka kweka mambo right. Nacheza home and away, I only do it my way. Better upishange my way, natuwashangi na way. Kusonga ni bidii, nikitafuta riziki. Niko busy kweka mambo right. Steady on the grind, sneaking niggas to the side. Wanashindwa nenda vipi na kwa ngumu kudecide. Nikasungunya tekwe ngumu nepikike. Nenda mbali na ni lazima nifike. Kama ni kazi minafanya sikubatisha. Kama ni kula nikishiba ninabakisha. Kairetu kwenye hizi beats ninamatisha. Kama ni kazi minafanya sikubatisha. Kama ni kula nikishiba ninabakisha. Kairetu kwenye hizi beats ninamatisha. Ukinicheki kwenye grind, moving non-stop, mi nataka kweka mambo right. Ukinicheki kwenye grind, moving non-stop, mi nataka kweka mambo right. Ukinicheki kwenye grind, moving non-stop, mi nataka kweka mambo right. Ukinicheki kwenye grind, moving non-stop, mi nataka kweka mambo right.
Good afternoon, family. Hope you guys are doing amazing. 32 minutes past the top of the hour. Super late for the show, but they say better late than never. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Hope you had a beautiful weekend and hope you're ready for the week. I hope you're ready for the conversation of the day right here on the media of the 21st century. This is the Pan-African Bliss Show. My name is Joby, in case you're here for the first time. But of course, to the returning listeners, hello. Hope you're doing great. But of course, today shall be talking about the youth of Africa and the current events literally turning up when it comes to the political game. Youths literally are saying no more being fooled around, and this goes literally all the way to the to the voting sector, or literally when it comes to voting. We shall be talking about what is happening in Kenya regarding the IEBC registration. How many people literally so far have taken their voters card, and of course the expectation, the goal they wanted to reach, and why they have not really attained it. As we talk about that, we shall also talk about literally how the Mandera people are still suffering. Remember 2-3 weeks ago or last month, I talked about the situation of Mandera and what is happening regarding looking at the Somali and the RSF soldiers literally who are on the border of Kenya. And we're talking about the Kenya Defense Forces not literally talking anything about this. So before we get to waste so much time, as we already have a quick reminder, of course, as we get to the conversation straight away, of course, to download our app on the Google Play Store, where you can find it. Blackout Fire Network is the name. Once you have the app, we keep on saying your health is your wealth. So ensure you're eating right, ensure you're drinking right, ensure you're living right if you want to see yourself literally your life prolonging. But of course, I'll share some amazing supplements that we have on the like of beetroot, ashwagandha, multivitamin. We have moringa pure, we have simos, anything you'd prefer, all organic, we got you covered. But for now, get yourself some beetroot as we get straight to the conversation right after this.
Beetroot, nature's powerhouse, packed with vitamins, antioxidants and nitrates. It's known to support heart health, boost stamina, and improve blood circulation. Our beetroot is naturally grown and harvested at peak ripeness. The roots are cleaned, dried, and finely ground to preserve their rich nutrition content, giving you all the benefits in one pure form. Add 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder to your juice, smoothie, or water, or take it in capsule form as recommended by your healthcare provider. Beetroot helps enhance endurance, lower blood pressure, and keep you feeling energized and balanced all day. Fuel your body with the natural power of beetroot. Stay strong, stay healthy. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Yes, for only $20.90. Karibuni sana. In case you have any questions before or after purchasing these amazing supplements, kindly email us at casingnews15@gmail.com. Also, very soon, expect to be seeing live streams coming from the barbershop. So you guys will be seeing a lot of what has been literally what happens down there in different angles. Of course, we also have our social medias now very much active. So rush all the way to Google Play Store, not to Google Play Store, to Instagram and TikTok, and kindly follow for the Black Kings and Queens Parlor. That is our literally social media handles on all the platforms. So go rush there, follow us, and expect much more of the content of our services being showcased right there. Bakaribuni sana once again. My name is Joby. This is the Pan African Bliss Show. In case you're here for the first time, once again, subscribe and get yourself those amazing supplements. But as we get straight to the conversation, I want to start with what is happening. This is in Cameroon. Last week we talked about, when you talk about actually the youth not wanting to be fooled around, we saw last week Cameroon's Paul Biya political that was is a campaign, how he held his campaign because of the old age. This man could not literally make an appearance of his first campaign, but he tried to actually, of course, recover that, because I thought and think people did. He faced some, of course, backlash. Expect that maybe from the people, from other people of Africa, including us right here on Black Hot Fire, because how dare you? It's just very easy. Resign. You know, your time is up. You don't need to force your way in. But like we say, they like choosing these people who can fit that caliber of corruption, people who do not like accountability, people who are comfortable in their space and don't like literally, you know, being held accountable, responsible, and not wanting to be inclusive or including the people of the country. Remember, I talked about the traits of most of these leaders, what they should be having, but they lack all of them. There's no inclusivity, there's no transparency, there's no responsibility, there's literally no accountability. So we shared an amazing video last week of Paul Biya talking about how he wants now to include the youths on job creation and all that bullshit he said. I don't want to go back to the video, but if you're tuned in, if not, go back to the previous conversation shows, all on Beetroot Rumble. You'll get them there if they're not on YouTube. But I shared an amazing video, of course, amazing indeed, where he talked about how he wants now to include the youths on and is considering their growth. You know, he believed that youths deserve chances and all that bullshit he said. But am I surprised now to see during the weekend that actually he's about to win his election? Hell no. Of course, this is another Kagame, 99% of the votes going to him. But reports that came in during this weekend, apart from the video he shared, they're saying that the Cameroon will hold presidential elections this Sunday. That was yesterday, so it started yesterday, and with the vote expected to go in favor of Africa's second longest serving leader, Paul Biya, who's 92 and who is seeking an eighth term. Mind you, he's done nothing for the last 7 terms he's been there. Completely nothing. He's not delivered anything for the people. Like I say, there's no accountability, there's no transparency. So what do you want to tell the people right now that you can deliver that you failed to deliver for the last 7 terms? It's not making any sense. So they're talking about also the cocoa and oil producing Central African country has been beset by challenges in recent years, including rising of cost of food, high rate of youth unemployment, armed attacks in the far north, and secessionist conflicts in the country's southern Anglophone region. So, of course, this is I'm not shocked if, because they're saying that the votes are expected to go in his favor. We know this is the white people's job. We go back to the polls again. We know Africans don't control elections. This is why we always have the international countries, these people coming from the US and other countries coming to monitor our elections. Has anyone ever asked themselves why? Which African leader goes to monitor US elections? None. Have you seen Ruto, Kagame, Museveni, Samia Suluhu, Paul Magufuli? Talk about the rest. Have we seen any going to the US, to China, to Russia, to summon or monitor their election? Hell no. So why do Africa keep on allowing this? It's a question we need to keep on asking ourselves at this particular point. Why is it that we always have white people in our presence trying to tell us or dictate to us what we should do? This means we completely don't have freedom. And I don't know how long it's going to take Africans to connect the patterns, but this should be it. What is a 92-year-old coming back in power to do? You've not done anything for the last 7 years. Now you're coming back for the 8th term to tell us what? You can barely talk. You can barely read speeches. You can barely stand. You can barely breathe. Like, please go rest and wait for your time. You need to rest in peace, not in chaos. So this is completely completely crazy. But let me go through the comments of most of the people, what they had to say on the comments section. Very important. We have one of the guy who said that the man probably can't even remember how long he has been a president for. Exactly. Because we're looking at a man whose video a couple of times, not only have we seen he can't talk, he doesn't even understand when there is actually even summits, which is all about dictatorship, all these summits. He doesn't understand that what he's doing in these summits. He can't explain or doesn't even have a clue of where he is. So yes, I'd bet on that too. Maybe he doesn't remember for how long he's been president. Also talking about, someone else says it's heartbreaking that after decades of the same leadership, Cameroon still faces the same challenges. I mean, come on. Exactly. The future of our nation depends on our courage to stand together, speak out, and demand real change. Cameroon deserves progress, not stagnation. Not just Cameroon, because again, we go back to understanding that Africans were not really taught well when it comes to our system of education. We've been divided even through education itself, whereby we're not taught the real things of how other countries are affected, or the similarities we face when it comes to corruption, to poverty, to wealth that we have in terms of mineral resources. When it comes to trade, that we can benefit from each other. We've been unpurposely kept dumb and divided again through education, so we won't know that we face the same problems. This is why it is so easy. You'll see Africans pointing fingers on each other. Hey, that one is to blame, or that one actually lives better. This one does not live better. Who are you to dictate? Who are you to tell? What do you know? Which country have you been to? On Saturday, we're talking, remember, we were on a call, me, Keith, and Demore, and we're talking about how it is so cheap to actually travel from Africa going to other countries, but not within the African continent. Within the African continent, it's been made super expensive for people to actually travel within it. Why? This is because they don't want you to see the similarities we have in terms of the political system, the way it is set up, all the same. So it's not just Cameroon that actually is stagnant. It's so many countries that deserve progress. So many countries that do deserve progress. Someone says, another person says the citizens are sleeping. And of course, that is also something else. So shout out to Keith, he keeps saying how Africans have been so dumbed down. It doesn't make sense to how we've gotten or gone this deep when it comes to not seeing things and critically think and apply critical thinking. Because when we talk about the citizens sleeping, that is exactly, we go back to the second comment. This is a man who has been in power for so long, and Cameroon still faces the same challenges. There's no change. So he's to blame. I go back to a topic I've once had of talking about where I feel like it's Africans to blame at this particular point in major cases, because the fact we believe we're supposed to be sitting in poverty and comfortable in poverty, it's so mind-blowing. The fact that you're born in poverty, you die in poverty, your generations live and die in poverty, and so on, and you think this is okay. It is mind-blowing. So yes, the citizens are to blame in every single way at some point. Are the leaders to blame? Of course, accountability is demanded, but citizens are also sleeping completely. I'm going to read the last two comments. Someone also says, Cameroon, the youth need to rise up. This man shouldn't be in power anymore. Exactly. Another person says they don't have elections. Rather, it's a staging of an election. I mean, finally, that's what I love, because people are starting to connect the dots at the same time. As much as we want to, as much as my job is still to, criticize and be factual, I'm still going to be very lenient and say that people actually are really waking up. Because back then, you couldn't see this kind of questions or thoughts penetrating within the community or the society. So yeah, someone says, the last comment, someone says, they don't have elections. Rather, it's a staging of an election whereby everyone knows who's the winner. Who the winner is. It's rigged and all for the show. Thank you. I think I did. There's a time I broke down literally how I look at now elections and how they're staged, because we have the cameras, we have people who are not educated, of course, correctly about the system, the way it runs, and the fact that we don't run elections. We don't know that this is a stage. So these people know this is staging. So pull the cameras, they control the media, show up the numbers to the people, let them know that actually this is a real election and it's not rigged. Because why? The number and the turnout of the people is real. And we know through different applications too, they can exaggerate the numbers of the people who turned out in certain places, or even reduce the numbers, understanding how advanced these other countries are, not Africa. So I'm not shocked. I'm just amazed. Oh, I love actually the fact that the youths are now starting to see what this has all been about. There's never election. And that's why my topic, literally on everything I'm talking about, it says no more fooling around. No more fooling the young people around. They are not voting. We're not going to be voting for the same BS over and over and over again. Not anymore. Not anymore, because this is the results of what you get for voting over and over again. You have people who want to be in power so bad, they can't deliver what they have promised the people. And yet, apart from not just wanting to deliver what they have promised to the people, they want to make the lives of their own people oppressed. Like, you want to see your people oppressed. I don't. This is crazy. How do you just want to see people oppressed for no goddamn reason? It's mind-blowing. So in Kenya, we've been talking about Mandera, the situation. We know what is happening in Mandera again. We go back to elections. In the next two coming years, actually, I'd say a year and a half, because 2025 was already over. But in the next coming 2 years, Kenya is going for another election. And of course, so far we have Ruto, who is the current president of Kenya and who has been doing nothing. The lives of Kenyans actually right now are more worse than the way they were before he became president. I'm not saying life has been actually good or smooth before him. Of course, the other leaders were also corrupt, just in ways we couldn't see. And again, we go back to, they've been using their media to push propagandas on a lot, because the people who control these puppets are the same people who control the media. So it's going to work. And because, like I said, we divided through education, leave alone tribalism, education has divided us in a way we can't understand most of the things and how mind games are working upon us. It is crazy. So in Mandera, what has been happening, like you remember, we talked about this a month ago when I was still living in the house and I was sick. And we discussed literally a whole lot of things, looking at the Kenyan border, how there's a war rising over there, where people's lands are being taken. Remember, we have the carbon emission bullshit because of the climate change BS. And they have been trying to tell people to move from their homes and paying them $2 so that they can emit the carbon. And apart from that, more other things are going on politically, whereby if we happen to have, like I explained some time back, if we happen to have a war going on in one part of the country, it's so hard for us to have an election. And because Ruto already knows, and the results of this are what we can see now. Let me share this very quickly. The results of why he's doing this, of fueling war in Mandera region, is because of what is happening currently. So the expected goal of actually the new voters card, that they expect, the expected number of the voters this coming election, the goal was set to be 6.3 million for the people who should take their voters card. But apparently reports have come out saying that the IEBC registration, that is our election body, the IEBC registers have only registered 20,750 new voters in only 2 weeks, and still far from the goal, which is 6.3 million, and a few youths turn up together. So they're saying that the commission is urging all eligible citizens, particularly the youth, to take advantage of the registration period and ensure their voices are counted in the 2027 general election. We know this is the same bullshit. Like, we go back to Cameroon, we know they have staged the winner. They know who the winner is. So you turning up there, don't go again with the bullshit of being told your vote makes a change. Your vote does nothing. You have to fight for change. Again, like Keith says, power is not given, it's taken. And these people will not give you power by you just going to the polls and voting and thinking that is going to bring you change. You're gonna experience the same nonsense like I've just shared. You're gonna have 92-year-old of a man who can't read, who can't write, who can't stand, telling you how he thinks and is so considerate of you as a youth. This man got in power when he was probably in his 60 or 50, who knows? Now he's 92 and still seeking another 8th term. And what? There's a possibility he's going to win. That is the same bullshit we're going to get. And these are the results. If you don't do it, because if you don't take power yourself, they'll do anything to maintain it. They'll do anything. And this is what I'm trying to say. Let me show you very quickly. That is Keith joining. Let me share very quickly of what is happening in Mandera, because it's really, really crazy.
Mandera County is burning again, and the saddest part is President Ruto is deeply involved.
Wata Somalia anachukua sasa, yeye amesema free, kesho nani nalumu nani?
Do you remember when the government quietly scrapped the extra vetting?
Karibu sana Keith, how are you doing?
Santi Sana, Joby, do you know Madagascar overthrew the government yesterday, Saturday?
Yeah, I know there was a crazy demonstration over there, and the president tried to call for a dialogue, and that did not happen. Of course, the citizens went so hard, and now he's saying that overthrowing a president is illegal. He's pushing the same bullshit with.
They don't care. They don't care what he's already overthrown. The youth have already taken over the country. The military's already in charge. He's flown out the country, Joe. He's in France now. He got to wait. They tried to get his ass.
Yeah, I saw it. It is. I saw Madagascar president says an attempt to seize power is illegally underway, and yeah. Already.
How's it illegal when people run all these fake legal terms? That don't matter. Revolution, you out of there. We're gonna try to get you so we can arrest you and kill your ass, but you gotta wait.
Exactly. This is exactly what I'm trying to say with now what is happening. I was just talking about Cameroon, and apparently, of course, Cameroon went on, the election started yesterday, and they are saying this is another Kagame. He might have won 99% of the votes again. That is because they're saying there's a possibility is the one leading the election. So what do you mean there's a possibility? And I just love the fact of how I was reading the comments of how people are interacting on that particular conversation, and someone said you need to understand your elections are rigged. They stage the president. It's all for a show. And I was trying to explain how I understood it some time back, because same people control these puppets are the same people control our media. So it's so easy for you to sell the propaganda to people that elections are real, while knowing very well you know who the winner is. So this is all for a show. Let us just show them we care about election. We value. We want you. Your vote makes a change. Your vote doesn't make a change. Your vote doesn't make a change. I go with your common phrase: power is not given; it's taken. And you can't just sit down waiting for these people to give you what they're already showing you on your face. They're taking it from you, so you gotta take it back. That's the same thing someone said about the citizens of Cameroon, that the citizens are sleeping, and that is so true, because there's no you're gonna tell me someone is taking an 8th term. What have you done for the last 7 terms? Telling the youth you're considerate about them. Now you think about creating job opportunities. At 92, can you breathe? You need some oxygen. You need to rest in peace again, not in chaos. Please go sit down, Grandpa, and do something about your life. You know,
Grandpa.
this bullshit. This isn't.
He's 92, Joe. But he's a great grandpa. He ain't a grandpa. He's a great
Great
grandpa.
grand, great grand. Exactly. Thank you for correcting me and reminding me that. So I'm saying, as much as we're looking also at that, this stagnation of Africa never moving forward, because someone mentioned that on one of the comments I was reading, that Africa is very stagnant. There's no progress. Talking about Cameroon,
Nope.
and that is true. We're very stagnant. We're supposed to be the most people developed and way ahead than the rest of the world, but the rest of the world is
Yep.
ahead of us because we are not in control of what is ours, which is a big problem.
Exactly.
So of course the youth are waking up, the youth are raising questions, the youths are demanding accountability, the youths are demanding responsibility and inclusivity of what you're saying, and do it. Don't just talk about it, because we're gonna go Nepal or go Madagascar now. It's way beyond.
Madagascar,
So
Madagascar is in Africa. They said they had no power and no water, Joe. They said enough is enough. We're not sitting there with no more power no more.
mhm, as
Good.
as they should, because that's what I was saying. It's crazy that Africans, we've lived because of this religion, and I believe I was saying today that I feel like also we are divided through education, and through
Of
education
course.
is we're not taught what other countries face. So that's why it is so easy for other Africans to point fingers at each other or start abusing each other, while you don't know the
True.
situation in the other country. Have you been
True.
there? Have you visited the situation? Or are you just yapping by what you've seen on the media? Because again, these people control this media. They can push anything they want us to see and cause chaos. Look at a good example. The Black American and African
Yes,
soil
ma'am.
bullshit of borrowing. For what? You're all the same people. Yes, cultures are different,
No.
but are you different people? And that the cultures are not really
No.
different. They're just adapted or advanced in different ways. It's not like they're really that different, because
True.
looking at it, I was discussing the Black American, most of the dishes, most originated from West Africa and Africa
True.
generally. So just that they have advanced their spices, their ways of cooking. We also have our ways of cooking. You don't like spices, I do like
True.
spices, so it's different. But it's crazy that we've been kept in a position of always
Fighting.
not only
I,
praying,
I, yeah.
and pointing fingers at each other, but we've been kept in a position of comfortability with poverty. Like
True.
people are so comfortable with poverty. It's so mind blowing. It's crazy that you can have cheap
we the, we
education.
the, we the only people that's comfortable with poverty, Joe.
It's crazy. It's really crazy, and that is so true. Trump is actually very correct on that. It is really mind blowing. By the way, it's crazy because I've seen it personally. I've like when I went back home last year. When I went to see
Yeah.
my called Fox, so I saw some people literally they were still there. They have been married there. Your mom came from poverty, was married to a drunkard. You're now married to a drunkard, and now you're poor, and now your child
That's
is
what.
gonna be too and
But
married
that's
to a
what I told you,
drunkard.
Joe. The cycle repeats itself because they don't. That's all they know. That's why I always say, you Joe, to you, Joe, and Joey, how did you get out of all that? How did you not fall into the same trap? That's what I always
Being
ask you. But go ahead.
being explode, being explode. I was never a kid who wanted to stay around one place. I still don't like it personally. It's
Uh,
just in me. I think it's a Sagittarius thing. I don't know.
uh,
Nish just moved
uh,
back to Louisiana, right? You see, it's a Sagittarius thing.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. First she moved back to Houston, then ended up going all the way to Louisiana. So because she was up in Seattle, of course, last what 3 or 4 years. Then moved back to Houston. Now she's back in Louisiana. So yeah. Yeah,
Exactly. So I don't
this,
I don't
this,
like
this,
I don't
this,
like
this they moved on the, this they live like this they live on the East Coast of America. She lived in Atlanta. She lived in South Carolina. She lived all the way in Seattle, Houston, then back in Louisiana. This they lived everywhere. So you're right. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's also something that I've grown up with. So with being explored and of course meeting different people, like I've said, and seeing different lifestyles, especially from my mom's side, like I've said, most of the people are comfortable. I'd say a good, quite comfortable life. It's not the wealth that I grew up thinking that was wealthy, they are rich. Nah, it's just they are comfortable. You can have a car, you have some few
Yeah, I
businesses
got
going
you.
on, but you're not a millionaire or type shape, but you're comfortable. So
But you're
through that,
comfortable.
Yeah, and looking at my aunts, having children with different men and different failed marriages,
Good
and
luck with
my
that.
mom too. So I was like, I'm not trying to do this. I'm not trying to do it. And my dad too, because looking at everyone was around me, I'm like, do you guys have to have like 2 3 wives or 5 husbands? Like, what's wrong with you? Is it really a must? So those are type of the things that actually made me never prioritize marriage, because looking at how people are attempting things, because maybe you're in a position where life is not doing good for you, then you end up settling with a man because you want to have a house, then you
Tell
get
me,
pregnant.
tell me, when did you get that phrase? You had that phrase forever. I was looking at old shows, the JoJo's first shows. Yeah, we always say, "Is it a must?" Where'd you get that from? Where'd you get that phrase from? Is it a
Guys,
must?
it's like, yeah, because it's not a must. Like,
I
marriage is
know.
a
I'm just. I know. I'm asking you. Where'd you get that phrase from? You've been saying that phrase since you've been in Black Empire. Is it a must? I ask people. Is it a must? Is it a must?
just looking at situations of how people make choices, and it's a choice you can just actually like see, this is gonna get you in trouble, and it's not really a must. And it's not really a must. Don't do things because people are doing it. It's not really a must. Do you be different? That's what really I'd say out made me unique from the rest of the people. But yeah, Africans, we've been made comfortable in poverty, and it's so mind blowing. And this is why you see these puppets and the white people will keep on coming back and still be in power for
Yep.
as long as they want, because we're not showing them we really demand change. So you're telling me for
Exactly.
seven, how many goddamn years? 7 times, for all goddamn 7 times, and you still say, I want to give the youth a chance, to create job opportunity. For what? What have you been doing for the last 7 times? And you'll be stupid enough to be listening to that, because that is now where the people go wrong. You'll be stupid too. Even the people who are actually going with those campaigns, you should have gone to those people's house, touch it down, make them pay back for all the stolen wealth in that country. Cameroon is very poor. Cameroon is
Very
very poor.
poor.
You don't
Man,
need
but
tell us.
yeah, it's very poor. My man, tell me, this guy had been president before you was born. This dude was president. I was just elementary school.
And I've grown up in poverty. You'll be telling people the same bullshit. Oh, I'll create. You'll create what? You're creating your balloon stomach, and you're creating nothing. There's nothing you've done in creating, just puppets because you can't appear on the campaign. Now you pull up some puppets to come and play your part because you're too old to even show up. This is upon the youth actually. So this is how we go back also. I'm trying to be very lenient as much as I'm talking about the youth today, talking about no more fooling around with the young people. And we're not gonna vote in Kenya. It's happening, what you can see on your screen. The expectation of the registration for 2027 elections of the new voters is supposed to be 6.3 million, but so far we only have 20,000 people who have taken the voters card, and still people are saying no, me being one of them.
Damn.
I've never taken a voter's card, and I will never. I'll die without one. For what? Unless we have a change in the country, we have leaders who are doing something, I'll go vote for them again. But there's nothing
Shelby,
these people are doing.
Shelby, if voting work, it'll be illegal. Don't work in
This is
America. They don't work nowhere. It's all a scam. It's been a scam. It's all a scam.
wait. Voting in America, not voting in America is illegal.
No, it's not. No, it's not illegal. I said, if it worked, Joby, it would be
Oh,
illegal. You know, it
oh
don't
yeah,
work. It's always it's a scam, Joby. It's the
exactly,
illusion of having a government. It's illusion. It's a fake. Elections in
exactly.
America been controlled, been rigged. You think they were gonna rig countries? You think the CIA was gonna rig countries' elections outside of America and wasn't gonna rig them inside of America? They've been rigged.
Hmm. Exactly, and that's good. I was trying to say it's so sad that Africans, we've been so stupid we don't even see or connect the patterns. Which African leader has gone to America to monitor their elections? Can someone tell me any? Maybe I have no history.
None.
None. Okay,
None.
we have UN, we have China, we have Russia, and the rest of the people. Every time a country is having elections, they have their spies in here to see what is happening. But
Lord,
no one questions that. We don't see that. What is a white man doing in African's business? What are
exactly.
you doing here? You go
I'm
deal with
doing, you know what I'm doing? I'm making sure the election goes the way I want it, and I keep getting the wealth that I need. That's what
that's
I'm
where
doing.
that's where we've really gone wrong. And this is why
Of
now what you
course.
have on the screen, what I was about to share, this is the results of not us wanting to demand or take change, not even demanding, taking change. We're doing it, but we're doing it so scared. We need to go Nepal again and go Madagascar. That is the hashtag currently now. We need to go Nepal or no more Kenya. Kenya, we failed. Well, the other countries are showing us how they can do it better. We tried, but did we achieve it? No. We're back to our comfortable zone, singing Israel is our friend. Are you stupid? Like, you just
Oh
forgot
shit.
Sudan died last year, but no, because in the name of love and God, because Israel is a Christian country, oh, we love Israel. Stop bombing Israel. This is our nation. You need to wake up. The
Who's
same
bombing
bullshit
Israel? Oh, I
on
know Israel's bombing everybody else. I don't know who's bombing Israel ass shit.
I don't know too, but the responsibility. remember, you remember a month ago, especially when I was sick, we talked about the Mandela situation and looking at the possibilities of Kenya having a war and which could lead to us postponing our election. And looking at what I've just read on the previous page, it's we can see why this is happening. Ruto knows he's already lost. People are no longer with the bullshit of voting. Out of
Yeah.
63 million expectation, then it's only 20,000 people so far have taken the voters card.
Damn.
It's really crazy. Yeah, it's really really crazy. So we go back to why now this man is trying and is gonna do everything possible, like they always done, like the rest. Shout out to Kagame, he'll threaten the shit out of. That is a dictatorship country. Like you say it
Of
is
course.
99% of the vote. Say it. I want you to say it
You
right now here.
you just be quiet when you down there, Joe. That's all you do.
I'll be quiet. But yeah, we have Ruto who's literally frustrating the lives of Mandera people. And not just that, we've seen the UN is moving here comfortably. No visa, no ID, no nothing, no document. And oh, we also saw the NGOs. They are settling here. They can't be sued. They can't, there's nothing that can happen to them.
It's
And these people
crazy.
are also stealing our lands quietly. They're still in our lands. Chatulin Googie, like she said, deals are gonna be made that we don't know. So I'm not gonna be shocked seeing people's lands now disappear. It's already happening in Mandera. People are being killed. In Isiolo, shout out to Christine. In Isiolo, people are being killed because of carbon emission bullshit. You know, being told we need your land by force. We need your land by force. So now, apparently, now apart from having Zimbabweans, Zambians, and so many people who have not been given citizenship, despite living here in Kenya for so long. Now we have the Mandera people. I'm trying to connect the dot because I also don't have the whole story. But apparently, the Mandera people now have been told they'll no longer be considered as citizens of Kenya. By number one, not being given identification cards. And of course, when you don't have an ID in Kenya, it's a problem. Okay,
Who's the
everywhere.
who who's the Mandela people? Where they from, Joe?
The Mandara people are mostly Somalians and
Oh, okay.
Somalians there. But we know the
Okay.
history. Somalians have been here for so long. Somalians have been here for so long. That's why we saw even
Yeah.
recently with the issue of some of the youths disrespecting our flag and who are Somalians and
Yeah.
living
Yeah, I
here.
remember that.
It brought really big issues because no one has ever had an issue with people living here. We never have issues with the Congolese, Sudanese,
I know
Zimbabweans.
you got. The funny part about that, South Africa, Kenya has many Africans as you do. They're not. They got just as many other Africans, probably more. They got Somalis, South Sudanese. They got Ethiopians. They got Ugandans. They got people from the the Democratic Republic of the Congo. They got Central African Republics in Kenya. They got Tanzanians in Kenya. They got Rwandese in Kenya. They got Burundis. Ah, Kenya everybody up in there. But I've yet to hear a Kenyan be like you in South Africa and tell me, oh, you people get out. You suck. You stink. Get out of here. Go back and build your country. I've never seen that in Kenya ever.
Never. Actually, people are going to look at you crazy. People are going to look at you so crazy, like you're a mad person to bring those kind of conversation, because we don't have those xenophobic behaviors. I've never even had it. Not even a neighbor. Even like, how neighbors, because in African plots, especially in the ghetto, neighbors always just have problems. But you'll never hear a neighbor get to the point of telling you, go back to your country. Never. Never.
Those sound just like them South Africans.
We never had anything like that. We can call each other other bad names, but not the audacity of me telling you go back to your country. I don't understand, number one, why you moved away from your country and you're not bothering my peace. There's nothing I feel you're taking away from me, because what is there to be taken away from me when it's not even there? It's not there and created. Critical thinking. South Africa.
They're taking away your jobs, Joby.
What jobs? You need to ask your government. You need to go to Ramaphosa and tell him to create job opportunities for you, not for the Orania people. Orania people are living comfortable and calling you niggas lazy. They're telling you can't come. And they're taking your land on your face. And they're telling you now they're coming and taking everything over. We're not gonna, it's happening here in Kenya, but I wonder for how long it's gonna go on, because this is not South Africa. Why people are not gonna come here talking? I've seen it. When China Square opened China Square in Kisumu, trying to tell the Kisumu people you can't come in here. What? Are you crazy?
Wow.
You're gonna shut this shit down. We're gonna close it.
Damn right.
They told them, the man joined and they told, we're gonna own it. And as a matter of fact, you'll get out of our country. You can't tell us where we can't enter. Who are you? You are in my country. Now that applies when it comes to these other races. But you going xenophobic on an African, crazy. You're really, really crazy. And this is why we're gonna keep on seeing this kind of results. No unity, tribalism division, educational division, mindset division, religion division. These are going to be the results of you not being a smart person.
Mandera County is burning again, and the saddest part is President Ruto is deeply involved.
Of course.
Wata Somalia anachukua, sasa yeye amesema free, kesho nani lolumu? Nalumu nani?
Yeah, so people are taking lands. She's saying that the lands are being taken away from them, and there's no one to blame. And people are being shot when demanding accountability. People are being killed. Literally.
Do you remember when the government quietly scrapped the extra vetting process for national IDs along Kenya's borders? And the move was celebrated loudly by northeastern leaders led by Aden Duale, who said it was a step towards ending the historical marginalization of Kenyan Somalis.
Because on that day, in that field, you signed a decree that will be remembered in the history of our country. That you said Kenyans must be equal. The citizenship of our country.
There's no equality in this country. There's no equality in Africa. The only equality we can experience and witnessing right now is in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Those are the only people who have dropped bullshit and tribalism aside and religion being included and going back to their spirituality and being united and being inclusive with each other, literally contributing to the development of the country because they can see the leader is doing something. So talking about actually equality in this country, you're bullshitting.
Belongs to all Kenyans. Huyu Rais William Ruto ni tofauti when it comes to our community.
But down in Mandera, the mood is shifting and fast.
Tafadhali tumuomba wewe salamia sisi Ruto, yeye ndio imefanya kibande free. Watu wa Ethiopia anachukua kibande, watu wa Somalia anachukua. Sasa yeye amesema free, kesho nani lolumu? Nalumu nani? Kesho kuto makambili ingine watu amelera weshi kaba, anakaa watu ingine ndio umetoka bali ingine. Sasa
See, so the foreigners are getting the Kenyan IDs first, more than the people who have been here living for like long
Wow.
years. So that is what exactly what is being addressed. That now, which is affecting most of this the Somali community who now live in Mandera regions where there's very big lands, like very, very big lands. These are people who are mostly known still to be active in, I'd say mostly in cattle, in herding, literally, when it comes to cattle, sheep, goats. Somali
Yeah.
community is the most known community to be handling that sector very, very well. So they have, of course, big arable lands to expect that, because when you talk about cows and everything, and it's green. It's a place full of nature.
Tumeomba regional bilikia sisi salamu Ruto.
Residents are now raising the red flag. Since the vetting was scrapped, they say foreign nationals, Somalis from Somalia, and Ethiopians are crossing into Kenya like it is a casual stroll, picking up Kenyan IDs with alarming ease. The locals...
This is all for elections, also remember that, because they're not just being given IDs. There's, I don't know how the IDs account with the elections, but the more IDs are taken, the more there's something. I'm gonna do the research, but there's how they go well together. So this could be like what you guys were experiencing in America. Remember during Biden's situation, having illegal aliens coming to the country, being given all these
Getting voting cards and all that stuff. Yeah. Giving voting. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that is possibility of what is happening currently.
Sound like the same thing. Sound like the same thing. Cause how Ethiopians and Somalis coming and giving Kenyan ID? How's that possible? If I believe it's the cats with the hats, they doing it.
Are worried, extremely worried.
Paka ijengwe kabisa ukuta kati yetu na Somalia, ndio tutapata nafuu. Ikijengwa ile kitu ambayo haiwezi kuvunjwa, tutapata nafuu. Wacha kuongea mambo mingi kuhusu mpaka. Hii watu ni Mungu tu anaweza zuia hawa. Hakuna mtu anaweza hawa. Tumeongea Kiswahili, tumeongea Kisungu, tumeongea kila lugha, hakuna tofauti, hakuna mbadiliko. Ni watu ambao hatuwezi kusikilizana kwa upande ya tabia. Fence tu mimi naomba waambie
very impossible, and as much as it is possible, because this is why we go back to understanding Africans who used to live in harmony, and even having other people coming to our countries, or me crossing to Tanzania, that wouldn't have been an issue because we lived in harmony. We never had tribal, wars. We never had land wars because they were in plenty. We had generational wealth before the white men invaded us. So now us are trying to apply us to create a wall because we want to stop other people, not understanding this is all political fueled, because Somalia and Ethiopians are all the same people. But now look at the division happening, but in Kenya. Look at the division happening between these people, but in Kenya. And the war it is creating, because these are people who are known to be having guns, and the people who are coming there and understanding we already have the Somali soldiers, we have the Sudan soldiers who are there already causing wars, and these are people still known to be having guns. It's gonna be very chaotic. So possibility is that we might not have an election, and that's what Ruto wants. Because remember, we have this expectation of the goal of people to take the voters card is 6.3 million, but people are not taking the voters card. So there's a big alarm there, and Ruto must go is still an hashtag. Kenyans sit down, hivi kidogo at the club, they start singing, Ruto must go. The DJ stops playing the music. That is the anthem. We can have Kenyans just walking on the road, then Ruto must go. Every time, personally, I go buy something and I find it's expensive. I just bought a nail cutter and I found a nail cutter. A nail cutter is 70 Kenyan shillings from 20 shillings. Are you kidding me? I was saying Ruto must go. Because everything is just, prices are just escalating. You're like, what? I bought this last time. It wasn't. What? Ruto must go. So we need to understand what is really, really happening. Otherwise, this is going to be 2007. I've been telling people this. They don't understand. In Tanzania, as we speak, they have elections this October. Not sure of the date. I'm gonna confirm. But there is chaos going on there because of we have one of the persons wants to stand up for the people, like Magufuli, but they are trying every means to jail him so that he won't have a voice when it comes to the people. The people support him fully. Actually, the youths, like we saw last week, want Samia Suluhu to step down. Because this woman is not only just giving again to foreigners comfortability and taking people's lands and houses, she's completely selling away the country. Magufuli had said no to all this. So
that's why she's there.
It's all political. It's the same. Whatever is happening in Kenya, the same thing is happening in Tanzania. All political gain.
President atuwekee fence ya ukuta mawe kati yetu na hii. Walikata, wamekataa, walisema kuna mpaka atawekwa. Kwa hivyo tunataka mpaka iwekwe. Peleka hii ujumbe yetu.
President claims parts of Mandera have been completely taken over by members of Ethiopia's Walaita community, accusing them of importing drugs and questionable behavior from across the border.
Oh no, they got to go.
Ambaye sio wa Kenya wamechukua. Watu naita Walaita. Usiku nikienda Maghrib kwa msikiti, kurudi kupita barabara ni shida. Ni watu wa drugs, ni wanawake na wa vijana ambaye wanapandana kwa barabara. Juzi wakati nimetoka msikiti hivi, ikiwa mimi naenda kwangu nyumbani.
Those are illegal aliens. How they just get across the border and just start doing shit in Kenya when they're Ethiopians?
Exactly.
What the hell's going on?
Ruto is going on.
Na wasichana wanafuta sigara kwa barabara. Niliongea, kwa nini nyinyi mnasimama mahali aina gani? Kifika sio watu ambaye wa Kenya ambaye wanatusumbua. I don't know why.
While Mandera residents decry the policy change, Ruto's allies, particularly from northeastern Kenya, have lauded the move as a victory for inclusivity.
Of course.
Duale and other regional leaders have even vowed to rally behind Ruto's 2027 re-election bid, with some claiming the region's support alone could secure his presidency.
Rais mwaka jana alitoa ile shida tulikuwa nayo. Unajua hawa watu,
I hate this idiot. I really hate this idiot. If there's one politician I hate in Kenya, is this motherfucker on the screen right here. Always talking nonsense. Always just talking bullshit. How are these people even leaders, man? This is just crazy. This man never makes sense. There's nothing that comes out of his mouth.
What is he saying? I don't know what he's saying.
More comment Kipchumba. This motherfucker.
Anyway. Wa marginalized areas hapa Tana River, huko Northeastern, sehemu hizi zote wanasumbuka sana kwa sababu hawana ID.
Vile hata mheshimiwa Jonathan.
The same person
about the ID.
The police should shoot any that in case the youth start operating, all the youth should be shot, and there is no the police will be defended by the government, so no police should be worried.
That's a crime. You guys got him walking around free. Yeah, you ain't did nothing about his ass.
Well, this is the same man. Of course, after he said that, the police on the next day when we had demonstration, you could see the videos we were sharing. They were killing people now, straight chasing people to just shoot them because you've been told, hey, the immunity is there, so you go ahead and do what you want. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what they told in Madagascar. And the kids they killed like 30 people. The kids said, no more. We are the majority. So, don't tell me you can kill.
Lakini sanduku ya William Samoei Ruto, inshallah, 2027, itajaa mapema na asubuhi.
Of course, you're going to steal the elections. You know, this man is going to be brought back in power. That's why you can talk so sure, because you know. They don't just come yapping their mouth, not having. They know Ruto is coming back for the second term. It's all.
Well, they know. Well, you got the CIA. One of the main places for the CIA is Kenya, Joe. They're right there in that embassy. They're not gonna allow Ruto to lose. They're gonna tell you, you know he's lost. They're gonna say no, he won, and that's it. And you'll just accept unless you overthrow. Listen, you're not gonna vote your way out of this, Africa. You're gonna have revolutions, or you're gonna keep having the same thing, Joe. You're gonna have to have You know, it's going to be Madagascar in the fall because the CIA is not going to let Africa go, Joby, without a fight. They're not going to allow no presidents like an Even Toure or John Magufuli to come to power. They're not going to allow that. That goes against their interests.
Very well written. We read the articles, but it is up to us to know if we, I go back to we are so comfortable with poverty. So if you want to be comfortable with
True.
poverty, you go on. I don't want to be poor. I want to live comfortable. I've seen how good life can get. So please don't try to tell me there's no success out there. White men and white women have my piano. No way. No. I want that piano too. I want it in my house, and I want it in every of my house that I'm gonna own. And I want to have houses. I want to have my lands. I want to have my goats and sheep. Me chasing them in my own compound. Not you me telling me, oh, it's all you. You just cry. Your tears are gonna create your kingdom in heaven. Do you know how many times I've cried because of that bullshit? Um, I'm suffering, so is this okay? This suffering is gonna repay me in heaven. No way. I had enough. I've had enough of suffering. I've suffered so much in people's hands. I've suffered. I don't want to suffer like Ibrahim Traore. I don't want to suffer. But as we wrapped up on the last conversation of the day, we have
All
Ibrahim
right.
Traore, who recently called out the deportation that is happening. Excuse me. The deportation that is happening
In
in
Africa,
the yeah, it's illegal. He said it's yeah,
you,
it is.
the U.S. sending all these criminals to Africa, and all these governments are taking in these criminals because they've been forced to. Yeah, it
Exactly.
is illegal.
So after that, we have after that, the Senator Burkina Faso rejected a proposal from the Trump administration to accept non-African migrants deported from the United States.
I
The
mean,
U.S.
non-African migrants.
The U.S. responded by suspending routine visa services for
These
anyone in the country wanting to visit the United States. Like he cares, like Ibrahim Traore cares. He would
No,
go
because
ahead.
what he did, he said, okay, cool, we're going to shut down your embassy. That's what he should have did. Your embassy's out of here. That's where your CIA's at. Your embassy's going to be out of here. That's what you do, Ibrahim, like you said you're going to do. Shut down the embassy, so you got 48 hours. All Americans, you better get your ass out my country. You got 48 hours to
Period.
get to clear this damn building. And I bet not find none of you in it. Anybody find hiding and sneaking, staying in here? I'm gonna arrest you. I'm gonna prosecute your ass. You got 48 hours. Get your ass out of here.
Period. So shout out to Ibrahim Traore as others keep on being bootlickers and begging for recognition of their balloon stomach. He is
That's what
recognizing these people, you know.
exactly.
So
See, that's what they're scared of, a domino effect. That's what you had in Madagascar. Madagascar said we want Ibrahim Traore. See, that told you, it was scared of that domino effect. Africans share the same common consciousness. So once you get one country acting right, everybody got to kill him. They got to kill him. They got to kill him because if he starts making it look like Dubai over there, like I said, there's been a domino effect. Say, how's this motherfucker took a poor country, now they rich and they living good, and we all still all fucked up? We're not going to go for that. That's why they got to get his ass out of there by any means necessary. And they're not going to stop trying
exactly, exactly.
to get
They
him
will.
out of there. Because if he's allowed to develop the Guinea Faso, the rest of Africa going to say, what the hell is going on?
I agree. But as a wind
So,
up, what I'd say is that the African spirits, the African, let's say the African spirits, literally the love of the people has him covered. We know the attempts have been super, super many, but like I keep on saying,
exactly.
just that the love people have for him that is so genuine and so expressed, it's just unavoidable. They can't avoid Ibrahim Traore. They can't avoid the people are rooting out for him. So that I believe, and the spirit of our ancestors too, who died because of this system, are still also covering him up. But yeah, that's why I come to the end of my conversation today. Bashatu Jiba Jaba Jao Mosquito. Karibuni Sana, but again, kwa Irini, I see Jiba Jaba said you deserve a piano and a ballet studio. That's what's up. You know, period. A ballet studio? Huh? Hold on. A ballet studio? That's for Iwaton's friend, not mine. That's that's for Iwaton's friend. But anyway, much love.
Who's this? Who's here, God's friend, Joby?
I'm saying the ballet. Juba Jeba telling me I should have a ballet studio, unless I'm the one getting the wrong.
Oh, a ballet studio. Okay, yeah, that's
Yes, much love.
yeah.
And have some beautiful morning. See you guys, of course, in a few on the Rhythm Scoop Show. But Iwaton is still coming back with a conversation. So catch up with
Much love,
one
family.
show and see what's popping. But much love. See you guys later on today. Peace.